Hello, everybody. This is Hadley Singer, the DM for this campaign, and you are listening to Control Group. Today with us we have...
Hi, I'm Marcus. I play, I'll reveal that later.
My name is Dennis, and I will also reveal that later.
Hi, I'm Nick, and I'll reveal who I'm playing later, too.
Welcome to our newest season of Control Group, where we are going to be play testing Lasers and Feelings by John Harper, thanks to a lot of people. And essentially what we're going to be doing is we're going to be playing a Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy campaign. With this campaign, the play is very simple. Typically in a lot of D&D campaigns, you'll find that each character has a set of stats that we go through, like edge and help me out, Dennis. What are some of the other ones?
The sharp, cool.
Yeah, stuff like that. And so the only two stats that our players are going to have are lasers and feelings. There are some other complications that go along with that, but the main idea here is that each character has chosen a number between 1 and 6. If you pick 1 through 3, you are more of a feelings character, and if you pick 4 through 6, you're more of a lasers character. So what's going to be happening is throughout our campaign, multiple things are going to happen to our characters. And when they are doing something that requires a roll, I'm going to ask them to roll for lasers or roll for feelings. Lasers are going to be situations that have to deal with science and reason. And feelings are going to have to do with things that are like rapport or passion or staying stable in quick moments. And so if I ask them to roll for lasers and they have to roll under the number that they have picked. If I ask them to roll for feelings, they have to roll a number over the number that they pick. And if they happen to roll the number exactly that they pick, they have what's called laser feelings. Exactly, it's pretty cool. In that case, they get to ask me during the situation a series of questions. They can ask me any questions, and I have to answer honestly. What are they really feeling? Who's behind this? How could I get them to blank? What should I be? Blah, 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 blah. And so... as this is happening, we are going to be traveling, as you guys will find out, on the Soul of Silver, the Heart of Gold's sister ship. And these adventurers have picked a very interesting ship with its own set of strengths and weaknesses. And I think now is a good time that we talk about everybody's characters. So, Dennis, why don't we talk about your character?
Yeah, so it's time for the reveal.
The magical reveal. I don't know why we did that.
I don't know either. I'm playing Paris. He's an African-Canadian man from Toronto, Canada. At a young age, he lost his parents, so he was adopted by a white family. And he's grown up. He's got a PhD, and he works at a local YMCA, helping the youths with behavioral issues.
What was your name, Dennis? Sorry.
Paris Dawkins.
All right. And Dennis, what is your number that you picked?
My number is 3.
All right. So Dennis is going to be a good middle ground for everything, but again, he still leans towards feelings. Why don't we move on to Marcus? Marcus, who did you pick?
I am playing A.B. Fringle. I am an alien from the planet Exala. I want to switch roles to pilot and envoy.
Okay.
So I'll say that I think that's how I was able to steal the ship, basically. It's because I already pilot ships, and I think maybe I literally have always been in a cockpit since I was born. And now my thing is like, I'm trying to experience more environments. Because once I got out of the cockpit for the first time, it was like, I could finally feel some fresh air and breathe and smell the flowers and whatever's on Exala. And anyways, my name is A.B. Fringle, and my number is 4. And I like it here.
Awesome. Finally, last but not least, Nick, who's your character?
So my name is Usher1239. And I am in a extraterrestrial humanoid contamination harvester unit. ECHU, for short. I'm playing a robot, obviously. Now, an ECHU unit is a robot that was designed by the Sirius Cybernetics Corporation many years ago, and it has one purpose in life, and that is to destroy all life in the universe. But my Usher, at the moment, has felt a bit of ennui, an error in his code that makes him wonder what life is really meant to be. Maybe it isn't just destroying all life in the galaxy. I think to that end, Hadley, I had him originally as closer to feelings, but I think it's more that he's better at lasers, but he wants to be better at feelings. So I think he should be a higher laser number, maybe like a 5.
You want him at a 5?
Yeah, just 'cause I think it just makes sense. Maybe a 4. I don't know. Like he wants to be better, but I think he's still a robot.
It's up to you. So what do you want to do? You want to do 4 or 5? Because it would be interesting if all of you sucked at feelings. Like that'd be great.
If we were all towards lasers, yeah. I think I'll go with 4.
4, perfect.
Yeah.
All right. And another thing that's going to be interesting that I sort of added to this campaign is each character has sort of a fatal flaw, something that could potentially get them killed in their travels. So why don't we start with Dennis again? Dennis, you want to talk about Paris Dawkins' fatal flaw?
Yeah, Paris working with kids, he had such a bad... He didn't have a terrible childhood, but being left behind by his parents kind of soured that, even though he had great adoptive parents. He just wanted to make sure that no kid was suffering. So when he became a therapist and started working with kids, Paris will literally do anything for the children, even at the risk of himself or his friends.
All right, nice. And Marcus?
Mine is that A.B. Fringle is sort of naive, and I don't really understand the gravity of the situation, maybe. And I think everything's probably pretty okay as long as I'm comfortable.
All right, and last but not least, Nick, what is your fatal flaw?
I don't know if we discussed a fatal flaw. Can it literally be a self-destruct button?
that would be amazing. We talked about him being so afraid of change, but literally a self-destruct button might make things so wonderful.
Yeah, I think emotionally, he's just afraid of change, but he's actually trying to be better about it. But I think physically, he has a self-destruct button somewhere on the unit. We don't know where it is.
That's fantastic. So essentially, the difference between Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy as a space opera and comparison to other space operas is that there won't be as much fighting in this. There won't be as much like battles and stuff like that. There's going to be a lot of running away, which is important. And there's also going to be a lot of situations that could get people killed, but in terms of negotiations and our relationships with other people. Part of what I love about Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy so much is that it is a direct satire of the world that we know, and putting it into a space opera just seems to be a little more... It would be more digestible, I guess, to people, talking about how even aliens don't understand why they're here. And so we're going to be... hopefully this is going to be a very comedic campaign, as well as a very, hopefully insightful in some ways. But one of the last things I also want to mention before we keep going, and this is more technical, as we are going through, one of the important things is that characters are going to be able to help each other. And if a character gives me a persuasive way in which they can help somebody, they can add a dice roll onto the person who is rolling. So essentially, they get 1d6 immediately for doing something. But then if they're prepared for the situation, they get an extra d6. And if they are an expert in what's happening, they get a third d6. And so potentially, we can get up to 5d6 if 2 people are helping, the person's prepared, and that person's an expert. Yeah, so that is about all that I have. Did you guys have anything else that you wanted to say, or?
We'll have to fit this in because I don't think I said it. Usher 1239. It looks like a giant trash can. Edit that in.
All right. That'll work. All right. Well, stay tuned, and episode 1 is next.
Attack of the